Good day, YouTube. My name is Dan, and welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. Today, we will be doing a review on the token Funfair, looking at the good points and the bad points, and why I am so worried about this project. So hang around and let me know what you think. So, what is Funfair? Funfair is not a casino or gambling platform in itself. It's a decentralized gaming platform that aims to help casinos to set up their online gambling sites. Funfair will provide the casino with the games, the gambling apps, even the currency, the entire infrastructure. The market of online gambling is very lucrative. It is worth $47.1 billion currently and still increasing. Now, you might ask, there are many online gambling websites, so what's the advantage of Funfair over the regular casino gambling websites? There are at least 7 advantages I can identify. The first is fairness. Funfair is a blockchain and smart contracts driven program, meaning that the users or the gamblers can be 100% assured that the betting system is fair and not rigged. Now, if I was a gambler, this point alone would make me use Funfair. The second is the control of chips or tokens. You don't play with chips that belong to the casinos. From the gambling to the profits that you earn, all the play money is from your wallet, so you are in control of your money at any point in time. The third advantage of using Funfair is the potential inflation of the token. Crypto prices are likely to go up in prices over the next few years. So my chip is not just a worthless piece of plastic, it's an investment that, should I choose not to gamble now, might be worth 3 times as much in a few months' time. Surely that is attractive to any gambler. The fourth reason is because of its decentralized server. This means that the server of Funfair can never be hacked. So casino owners will love this. They can sleep in peace without worrying of people trying to steal their money. The fifth is the fast setup. If a casino decided to use Funfair today, literally within seconds to minutes, they could set it up because the entire infrastructure is already there. Number 6 point about the advantage of using Funfair is the transaction speeds. Usually, online transactions to get money in and out of online casinos can take minutes. In VIP cases where there are large amounts of money involved, it can even take up to days. But Funfair promises transactions within 30 seconds, so it's super attractive to both casinos and gamblers. The last advantage point of using Funfair that I can think of is the cheap processing. This one is for the casino owners. Funfair's network processing literally costs 10% of any other blockchain casinos. So for all of the above reasons, why wouldn't you want to use Funfair? I'm going to throw in a spanner in the works here. The above advantages that I just listed are the advantages of using a blockchain in gambling. So it's the advantages of a generic blockchain project. It doesn't actually say what makes Funfair stand out as a blockchain project compared to other blockchain projects. So the question we really want to try and answer is what makes Funfair unique as a blockchain technology, and to do that, let's try and take a deeper dive into the white paper to see what we can find. This is the Funfair white paper, and if I was to be blunt, it's not good, guys. To start with, it's only 6 pages long. It's a very short white paper. And out of the 6 pages, the first 2 pages is the cover and the content. So in essence, there are only 4 pages that really have substance or content material to it. When you look at the details of the project that they are talking about, in these 4 pages, it really revolves around, first, the introduction of RNG, which is random number generation. And this is a very standard kind of feature of all gambling software. The main feature that they try to promote is this thing that is called fate channels. Fate channels are, if I was to try and explain it in simple terms, a modified type of state channels. Let me try and explain it. Most interactions between blockchains are done within the blockchain. A state channel is an interaction between blockchains that occur outside the blockchain. It can potentially make things faster and cheaper. The world's first state channel is Lightning Network for Bitcoin. Now, Fate channels, which is what Funfair uses, is a state channel with some modifications to it. The biggest being that they throw in the random number generation in the interactions between two parties, because the interaction between the two parties is essentially a gambling interaction. So you got to have RNG thrown in there. White paper then is all about Fate channels and basically nothing else. There is no vision or background, market strategy, token utility, nothing else in their white paper at all. In contrast, let me show you another white paper. This is the Dragon Chain white paper. Now, for those of you who have seen my Dragon Chain review, Dragon Chain's white paper, in my opinion, is an average white paper at best. It's not an outstanding white paper. Outstanding white papers can go on for 45, 60 over pages. Dragon Chain's white paper is only 15 pages, and I even commented that they were lacking in details when I did the review on it. So this is not an outstanding white paper, but it is it does pass the mark to be a white paper. And if we scroll through, you see that there are headings such as the background, the vision, okay, how they plan to do things, the special features like the incubator, okay, there's some real technical explanations happening, the business focus, the solutions, okay, the Dragon Chain token, the token utility, and then you've got the team, you've got the market strategies, you know. This is what a standard white paper looks like and should be. But Funfair's white paper doesn't look much like a white paper of a major project. It just looks like a description of Fate channels, which in their own words is simple. So it's really quite disappointing. I'm not a fan of their white paper. But look, let's be fair, white paper is not everything. They are the first major project in the gambling blockchain space, so maybe an early share of the market is probably what they are banking on to earn money, not the uniqueness of their technology. Let's test out their showcase. In other words, test out the trial games that they have available for us to try, and let's see how that turns out. Okay, so they have quite a number of games. Let's test out Blackjack, which is like the standard game to test as a yardstick. So loading times are pretty fast. This is the Brave browser I was talking to you guys about. Okay, let's place a bet. Let's deal. Blackjack. Oh, great, I lost. Let's try again. Trade, hit, and I'm busted. Okay, I obviously don't have much luck with playing Blackjack. But as far as the game goes, okay, the graphics are clean, it loads well, and the game is smooth. The interface is a bit bare. Let me show you what I mean. If you were to Google online gambling blackjack, okay, you see that interfaces of a lot of the other gambling sites have a dealer that adds a personal touch, or at least a couple of hands on the table. There might be other minor elements like the dealer chips, and the table is usually a bright color with some contrasting element like a logo on the table to make the overall picture more vibrant and lively. But Funfair's interface is somewhat old and bare. There is no contrast, no interaction elements like a dealer. So I think that the interface can be improved. But in terms of running smoothly, it does that. And the actual individual graphics like the chip is actually quite decent. Alright, let's move on and look at the people involved in this project. So the team is led by this guy called Jess San. Okay, there's a little spiel on him. He's been in the gaming industry for more than 2 decades and was awarded the OBE award for services to the computer game industry. So he knows the computer game industry well. And these are the rest of the team members. Okay, fairly big team or decent sized team. There are faces, which is a good thing. We like faces, but there is no description. Usually on other websites, when you click on them, they give a little spiel about, you know, which university they graduated from, what was the last company and last position that they held, etc. But there isn't much here. Okay, if you scroll down, there are some advisors in marketing, technical, legal, and commercial fields. But then my next major concern of this project happens here. Nowhere on their website do you see a list of investors or partners. Now, you go on any other big blockchain project websites, there are always partners and investors play an important role in the project. There are two good reasons why you need partners and investors. The first is for accountability. If a company has reputable partners, you know that they're not going to fold overnight and run away with your money. Now, I'm not talking about scam intent. I don't think that this project is a scam, but what I'm talking about is tough times. At the moment, Funfair is doing well at the top of its game. There isn't much competition in the market and things are going well. But what if a major competitor came along next month and really threatened the project? What's stopping the owners from just folding the company and making off with the money? Partnerships and investors help to create some accountability to prevent such things from happening. The second reason for partnerships and investors is because they serve as a safety net. If a company hits a really tough time and needs some bailing out, either monetarily or technologically, okay, partners and investors can help in that sense. So they provide some sort of backup, some sort of resilience to adversity. But if you stand by yourself with no partners or investors, then when shit hits the fan, there is no safety net to catch you, and the fall can be very hard and very fast. So I'm a little bit concerned that nowhere on their websites do they have a list of their partners or investors. That is not quite normal. Now, with an industry as big as online gambling, you would imagine that there would be competition for Funfair out there, and you would be right. If Funfair's biggest advantage currently is their early market share, then it's worth checking out how they are comparing to the competition out there to see whether they really are at the top of their game. Their biggest competitor currently is another company that is called Ageless. So we're going to have a quick look at Ageless just to see how they compare to Funfair. The main difference between Funfair and Ageless is that Funfair provides the technology for casinos to build their own online website, and it has a very wide scope of use. Ageless, though, wants to be the casino, and you have to sign up to play on their website. They are the actual casino. Now, both are blockchain driven, so gamblers can be assured that there is no rigging, and both have negative house rules for deposit, making it easy to deposit and withdraw within seconds. So against standard blockchain project advantages, neither stand out there. They both claim to have a working product. We've seen Funfair's working product, and I think that Funfair's working product is a bit ahead, or rather quite far ahead in development compared to Ageless. Alright, let's click on Ageless Games and see how that turns out. Hello? It takes a bit longer to load for sure. Alright, there we go. Okay, just type some random name and oh, what rubbish. Alright, look, I'm gonna cheat and I'm just gonna jump onto Google Images to check them out. Okay, currently Ageless screen looks like that. This is their interface, okay, and it's really poor. It's really basic and it looks horrible. Apparently for their blackjack, they've released a beta 0.1 where the interface here looks similar to Funfair, but maybe a little bit more contrast. The color's a bit prettier, but overall, I mean, still quite bare. You know, no dealer, no hands, no dealer chips. You know, it's still quite bare. Okay, it's quite comparable to Funfair, but Funfair already has many different games out, over 10 games out, and Ageless is still struggling with their very first game to get it on a decent interface. So Funfair clearly has the edge here. One thing worth mentioning here is that Ageless may have the slight advantage in terms of anonymity. Now, owning either tokens is anonymous because it's blockchain, right? Ageless runs their own website and server, so you know that your details are being kept on the blockchain and is more resistant to hacking. Funfair, though, only provides the technology to casinos, so when we play using Fun tokens or credit, we are subject to the casino's rules, not to Funfair rules. So if the casino wants our ID, we have no choice but to provide our identity on their server, which is not a blockchain, and we have no control over how the casino uses our ID information, or what happens if the casino server, which is not blockchain proof, gets hacked. Now, some people will argue that not many casinos use KYC or Know Your Client verification, and that's true, but that's because they don't need it at the moment, because when you go online to play on their sites, you have to use your credit card, so they still get your details from your credit card at the end of the day. What I'm trying to say is that this may change in the near future, and they may need to implement more, the casinos may need to implement more rules to get your identification based on the jurisdiction and the regulations that they themselves are submitted to. Ageless is not perfect in this too, but it's a little bit more protected as a solo blockchain project. In fact, I would go as far as to say, right, in this area, both of them have a flaw, and if another company was to come up with a project using an anonymous currency like Monero, that would really be anonymous and potentially very attractive to gamblers. So while there isn't much competition in this space for now, okay, for a decent competitor to come into the field is not that hard. It can happen very quickly. Just next week, someone could announce that they're going to launch a gambling platform which uses Monero, and that in itself, just that announcement would make them a very big competitor to both Ageless and Funfair. But for now, as far as the competition goes, okay, Funfair is in the lead. Okay, it hasn't captured a significant part of the market yet, but it's got probably the best chance of catching the part of the blockchain gambling market at the moment. Now let's look at their roadmap. Their roadmap is pretty scarce, maybe even scary. The most scary thing is that it has pretty much ended. Okay, it doesn't go beyond Q1 of 2018, which we are in the last month of. The official public release has already happened. The only development left on their roadmap is a progressive slot game, and they already have 4 types of slot games, so it's not a major milestone. So we're going to move on. We're not going to talk about the roadmap because there is no more roadmap to talk about. Some other considerations I have, which I couldn't find addressed anywhere, is first, do all casinos using Funfair have the same games and interface? Because that would be pretty boring. Or can casinos build their own interface or even games? I didn't see this feature being included in there. The second is privacy. I already mentioned, I think a more anonymous token like Monero would be much more attractive for the gambling industry. The next is speed. Funfair is currently on the Ethereum network, which is the biggest but the second slowest platform. And I'm going through stuff you guys already know well. Ether speed is 16 transactions per second. Neo, the third biggest platform, currently is 1000 transactions per second. So if someone came along and did a similar project on Neo, does that mean that their transaction speeds are then 60 times faster? Because if I'm a casino owner and I have to choose, the choice becomes obvious then. The last consideration I have is about their token distribution. Their max token supply is 11 billion tokens, and at the moment only 4.6 billion are on the market. I found this description from the team from quite a while back. We're talking a few months back. Let me read it out to you about their token allocation. We're allocating 42% of the 11.173 billion, so that is 4.7 billion tokens that we're putting into cold storage, and will restrict token sales to a max of 1 billion per year for 4 years and an additional 0.7 billion tokens for the 5th and final year. Now listen to this bit is important. These tokens will be sold to institutions or large token buyers to minimize overheads and retain highest compliance. So it's not being sold to the small players or the average market. It's being sold to institutions or large token buyers. The tokens will be sold as close to market price as possible to minimize dilution and maximize value. Potential problems with this is that the big token sales per year will be sold to institutions or large token buyers, and this can be done off the market, which means it won't affect the market pricing much. But if it's being sold on the market and the investors are buying it off the market as trading, then with that volume the market price will rise. But now you don't have that chance. In fact, when they buy it off the market, it can do the opposite and dampen the price rise because it reduces the available volume of token on the exchanges. The second thing is the handling of the token is described as to minimize dilution and maximize value. It sounds nice, but it's very broad, and again, it just means that everything's up to the team. There is no real clarity about how they plan to do that. It would be nice to get some actual details of the plans of their tokens rather than just the broad intent to minimize dilution and maximize value. So as of now, I think slightly over 60% of the tokens are still in the team's hands, which is a lot. Usually at this stage of development, about 65% or more would have been released to the market. But the majority of the tokens, over 60%, is still in the hands of the team. There is no real accountability, and if they were to close down tomorrow, nothing is stopping them from taking that 60% token share of the market cap. I'm not saying that they will do that, but I'm saying that there is nothing to stop them if they wanted to. Now, we usually like to end a coin review with a price prediction, but in this case we won't, or rather we simply can't. To predict something, you have to be able to make an intelligent guess at the very least as to which direction it will go. In this case though, the price prediction is pointless because the future of the project is completely unpredictable. Anything can happen. I could give you a positive prediction, but then a strong competitor could be announced tomorrow and the company could close down next month and I wouldn't be surprised. Or they might get 10x gains in the next year because no competition appeared and I also wouldn't be surprised. There is no way anyone can predict with good certainty whether this coin is going up or down in any measure of time frame. My only speculation is that because the online gambling industry is such a lucrative industry, it is only a matter of time before serious competition enters the market, and whether Funfair survives will depend on how much of the market share it has claimed as its own by then. If it hasn't gotten a sufficient market share by then, the fall could be potentially fast and brutal because it has no real safety net to catch it. Personally, I won't be getting on board this project. Let me explain to you why I'm not keen on this project personally, and then let me explain to you why you don't need to listen to me. I think the difference between gambling and investing when it comes to crypto trading is that investing is understanding the project and having a confidence in its future and the team. Gambling is following the FOMO without really understanding the nitty-gritty of the project. Here at Cryptolite, what we try to do is to do our homework so that we can invest and not gamble. I don't particularly like this project because there are no partners or investors to keep them around or help them in times of trouble. There are a lot of avenues for serious competition to come in quickly, by introducing anonymous gambling currency, by a faster speed on a better platform, or having a new technology. There's so many avenues for serious competition to come in quickly. There is no roadmap to tell me what to look forward to, and the company holds more than 60% of the tokens currently with very little to no accountability. I don't have enough information about the majority of the members of the team or clarity about their long-term plans about the bulk of the tokens. So for all of the above considerations, it makes Funfair a very scary investment for me. Investing in cryptocurrency is always high risk, but this coin is much higher risk than most in my opinion. There are many other good projects on the blockchain and I'm going to stick with the other coins for now. But now let me tell you why you don't need to listen to me. Crypto investors are not always well educated about their choices. At the moment, a lot of the investments on the crypto market is driven by hype and FOMO, fear of missing out. The PR and advertising of this project is actually really good, and they do have a lot of hype on the market at the moment. A lot of people will understand them enough to understand the benefits they bring to the online gambling arena as a blockchain project. They will look at the top resumes and they will jump on board with the FOMO. They will miss the fact that this project has nothing to distinguish or protect themselves in the long term from other similar blockchain projects. But nonetheless, because there is FOMO, the price will likely rise in the near future. Funfair is without a doubt ahead of the pack at the moment in the gambling blockchain arena. So in the near future at least, they will probably hold the largest market cap in these projects and rise in value. So at the end of the day, I guess, money is money, quick money is still money, and some might decide to risk in this project for the above reasons. Look, anything can happen in the future. Who knows? Funfair might be able to majorly capitalize on their time lead or develop a new technology that makes them super big forever and prove me wrong. I'm not a professional nor a financial advisor. All the above I've said is just my personal, very noob opinion. I could be wrong, and for the sake of those who are already invested in this, I honestly hope I am wrong. But please do your own research and make your own decisions, so whatever happens, you won't have any regrets in the future because you can look back and tell yourself that at this point in time, you did the best that you could to make the wisest decision possible. So that's it, guys. That's my opinion of Funfair. I hope that's alright and no one is hunting me down to stone me. This is the first review where I give a negative review on a coin, and it doesn't feel good, really. I prefer to be positive if I can, but I really wanted to give you my best, impartial, and most detailed opinion because that's what you subscribe to us for, and that's what you deserve as our community. And we do an impartial review for every coin that we review, so I hope you're not offended if you're a Funfair supporter. I do wish you and the coin all the best. I honestly do. Now, I'm not sure if now's a good time to ask for a subscribe, but if you liked this video and found it helpful, please give us a like and a subscribe and leave a comment. Tell us if you agree or disagree, or if there's any other coins or topics that you would like us to cover. If we can do it, we will, because this channel is made just for you. A big thanks to those who have recommended coins for us to review. I myself have picked up some great coins like Sophia TX from your recommendation, and that's what we want this channel to be, a place where we can all share our good coins so that the whole community can be aware and considerate for our own individual crypto journey. And along the way, I'll try and do some homework and present a bit more information if I can, so that we can grow together as our crypto knowledge as a community. In future, we might set up a Telegram group, but for now, we're kind of small and we're still stuck on YouTube, so please feel free to spam the comments, guys. We love it. Alright, enough talking. Have yourself a great day and we will catch you guys tomorrow.